everyone, and welcome back to Claddagh National School's Storytime. Today's book is called Avocado Baby and it's by John Birmingham. I think this is going to be quite an unusual book now because I was looking at the front cover and what did I see? Only this. Did you ever see anything like that in your whole life? A baby holding up a big huge dumbbell full of weights. Why do you think the baby is so strong in a book called Avocado Baby, I wonder? He's a remarkable baby anyway. Sure, let's go and find out. I'm reading this book now at special request of Miss Fitzpatrick, one of our first class teachers in Claddagh School. She wanted me to read this for the kids in her class especially. So I'm looking at the title page now, Avocado Baby, John Birmingham, the author, and there's an even stranger picture in this one now. Wait until you see this. What else can this baby do? He can skate on roller skates and carry a big tray of fruit. Oh, and a bottle of milk, of course. Some baby for one baby, this lad, I'll tell you. Oh, so off we go. Mr. and Mrs. Hargreaves and their two children were not very strong. Mrs. Hargreaves was expecting another baby, and they all hoped it would not be as weak as they were. There is the Hargreaves family, Mr. and Mrs. Hargreaves in the middle, and the boy and girl on the outside. The new baby was born, and all the family were very pleased. Mr. and Mrs. Hargreaves brought the baby home, and it grew. But, as they feared, it did not grow strong. Mrs. Hargreaves found feeding the baby very difficult. It did not like food or want to eat much. Do you know any children like that who are a little bit picky about their food, who like to taste the food with their eyes before they've even tasted it with their tongue? I've met a few of those in my time, all right. The ones who go, I don't like it, I've seen it and I don't like it. I always ask kids like that, so if you can taste your food with your eyes, can you smell with your ears? Or touch with your nose, I wonder. Anyway, here's a nice picture of the baby just after it was born in the hospital. And there's Mr. and Mrs. Hargreaves bringing the baby home. Why do you think it took the two of them to carry the baby up the steps? Normally an adult can carry a baby on their own, can't they? I wonder why Mr. and Mrs. Hargreaves needed to share the load there. Oh, whatever can I do? Wailed Mrs. Hargreaves. The baby doesn't like eating anything I make, and it looks so weak. Oh. Look at poor Mrs. Hargreaves and all the different things that she tried to do to give the baby food. Have you ever seen an adult going like that, nearly tearing their hair out, going bananas, trying to get a child to eat? Do you know what I always say? They'll eat if they're hungry. But if you would like to, for a bit of fun, you can pause the video now and see, can you name all of the things that Mrs. Hargreaves tried to give the baby and all the different ways she tried to feed it, and all to no avail, no good. Baby wasn't eating anything. She was at her wit's end, as they say. Why don't you give it that avocado pear over there, said her children, the older ones. In the fruit bowl on the table there was an avocado pear. Do you know what an avocado pear is? I know what an avocado is, and I know what a pear is, but I've never seen an avocado pear. It must be an unusual enough fruit. Well, nobody knew how this avocado pear had got there in the fruit bowl because the Hargreaves never bought avocados. Mrs. Hargreaves cut the pear in half, mashed it up, and gave it to the baby, who ate it all up. There's the pear, sitting on top of the fruit bowl. That house is a little bit like my house. And a lot of houses with small kids in them. The most unusual things end up in the most unusual places. Can you see any things in that fruit bowl there that don't really belong? And can you think maybe where they should be? In the right place. Here's the baby eating up his avocado pear anyway. Wait till we see what happens next. From that day on, an amazing thing happened. The baby became very strong. It was getting so strong it could break out from the straps on its high chair. Look at that. Poof! Pull other children uphill in a cart. Whoa! And even wrench off the side of its cot. You'd be in a bit of trouble now with the baby if they could pull the side off their cot, wouldn't you? But each day, Mrs. Hargreaves gave the baby more avocado pear. One night, a burglar got into the house. Dun, dun, dun! The baby woke up and, hearing the burglar moving around downstairs, leapt out of its cot. He's like some sort of a superhero, this baby. The baby picked up a broom and chased the burglar. Have a look at that. The burglar was so frightened at being chased by a baby, and probably a little bit surprised as well, that he dropped his bag and ran out of the house. The next day, Mr. Hargreaves put a notice on the gate. That should keep the burglars away, he said. What kind of a sign keeps burglars away, do you think? This premises is monitored by CCTV cameras at all times, maybe? Beware of the dog, maybe? Or even beware of the baby. It's quite an unusual sign to put in your gate, isn't it? But I think the Avocado Baby was quite an unusual baby. The baby would help carry the shopping, move the furniture, and push the car when it would not start. Have a look at all those things. Like, when he's moving the furniture, we're not talking about a chair or a small table here. We're talking about a grand piano up steps. That is one strong baby. And as for pushing a car, that's mad stuff altogether. One day, anyway, two bullies were waiting for the children in the park. Oh, did anything like that ever happen to you? It does happen sometimes, doesn't it? Where mean children wait outside and they try and pick on other children. The bullies started being very nasty to the children, to the Avocado Baby's brother and sister. Do you see what they did? How do you think they felt about that? Yeah, I think so. I'll tell you, I know how the baby felt about that. The baby did not like that. And he jumped out of his pushchair, going to defend his brother and sister. The baby picked up the bullies and, wait for it, threw them into the pond. Is that a fair punishment for two bullies in the park? Can you think of anything else he might have done with them? The divils. So the baby gets stronger every day. And of course, it is still eating avocado pears. The end. I wonder how strong that baby will be when he grows up. Can you imagine? He'll be able to lift entire houses and skyscrapers and everything. Now, I'll tell you what you're going to do for me, all right? I want you to think of as many different things that the baby can do as your imagination can let you. So, we'll go back through and we'll see the things that he can do in the book. Can you remember any of the really amazing things that baby can do? There's the first one. I'll see, can I find any other crazy things this baby could do? Oh, wait, I skipped one. Do you remember at the very start on the title page? He was on his roller skates, wasn't he? What was the next one? He went to the hospital and he was very weak, and then the mammy was trying to feed him lots of stuff. He wasn't doing anything unusual then, was he? Because he hadn't started eating avocado pears. And as soon as they fed him the avocado pear that was there in that messy fruit bowl, poof, he was like a big superhero. He was able to do this, and this, and this. And what happened when the burglar came into the house? Do you remember that? That was a little unusual for a baby too, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure you remember that one. And, oh yes, the other things he could do, do you remember? Can you see all three of those in that page? None of those would be kind of a normal thing for an ordinary baby to do in the course of a normal day, would they? I don't think so. And then the final, victorious, defending his family thing that he could do. Do you remember it? He could pick up bullies and throw them into a pond. How many other crazy, mad, super strength, superhero things do you think the Avocado Baby could do? I want you to try and imagine as many as you can. Run off now, grab a piece of paper and either write them down or draw them. And if you enjoy doing that, you could even make a little comic strip, like in a comic book, of the Avocado Baby going out for a walk another day and maybe saving someone or doing something else like a superhero. You could have a lot of fun doing that. It'd be really, really interesting and fun. Okay, that's me. I'm done. Time for you to go off and get creative now and do some cool things for yourself, all right? I hope you really enjoyed the story and I'll see you again soon, everyone. Thanks a million. Bye-bye.